What's going on, you guys? It's Polo Sports Talking ENT here again with another one. Make sure you hit the like and hit the sub, and also comment as well. Make sure you're hitting the notifications too, so that you're able to get each and every one of my videos. Um, it's no surprise that Spencer Dinwiddie and DeMar DeRozan are interested in playing with the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, I want to talk about Spencer Dinwiddie for a second. Now, uh, Spencer Dinwiddie, as you know, he was a a player who was extremely productive when he was healthy, when he was playing with Brooklyn. Uh, the big thing is that at first, while it was a rumor at first that he was going to play with Los Angeles Lakers because they saw him with Phil Handy, the trainer. Now it's wide reported that he has interest in signing with the Lakers uh, in terms of free agent when it comes down to the free agency. Now, the thing that we have to look at is because it's going to be a challenge, and especially he's going to be opting out of a 12.3 million dollar contract. Now, that's 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 a factor, and then also the ACL injury. Listen, we want to, the Lakers. They want a player that is going to take pressure off of LeBron and AD. You don't want anybody else that's going to be per se damaged goods. Now, you can't bank on the fact that he's going to be extremely healthy, but when he is healthy, uh, he, he's a little bit below average in terms of the 3 point shooting at 32.2%, and overall he's a 41.4% shooting. He's actually shooting less than what Schroeder was. Schroeder's actually shooting 33.5%, and shooting now 43.7%. So from a numbers and percentage perspective, Schroeder actually is shooting better. But if you want to talk about attitude wise and just dedicated to, I would say blue collar and getting it done. Spencer Dinwiddie is very productive because they even made the playoffs when it was him, Joe Harris, and Jared Allen, and that little tandem before they blew it up, and Karis LeVert and all of those guys. Um, I don't think that it would be that great of a fit long term because you do want somebody that you can progress with in the future. I don't even think that DeRozan is a good fit either. Now that I move over to DeMar DeRozan, we have to look at this. We have to look at the fact that he is he's a 28.1% 3 point shooter. And while he's good in the mid range, I will give him that he's good in the mid range. The only thing benefit that I can see about DeRozan is that he's at home. He went to Compton High, and of course he went to USC. That's kind of a upside. But see the the con to that, and the negative side to that is how he truly is going to fit in the Lakers system, because we still have to play defense, and that's the thing that we have to look at too. In Frank Vogel's system, you have to play defense because he's a defensive-minded coach. So we'll have to see, what takes place. Uh, he DeMar DeRozan, has never been he he hasn't lived up to what his potential once lied. That's not to say that he's not a hard worker, he's not dedicated, but he just hasn't taken that next step, and he really, I'm not hitting because I like DeMar DeRozan. I like DeMar DeRozan. I think that he he can offer a team a lot, but in this case, it's just not a good move. Him going there. But he said he was willing to take a pay cut. And that's admirable. I give anybody props that Tim Duncan has done it. There's been a lot of players that have been willing to take a pay cut just because they're focused mainly on championships. But I I don't see him as a good fit, yeah, for the Lakers. Um, if if you're gonna go get somebody, man, why not go for a big man? Now, I'm not saying that it's gonna actually happen, because they're actually after Kyle Lowry. Well, I know Kyle Lowry is interested in joining the Lakers too. So we'll just have to see what takes place, But DeMar DeRozan and Spencer Dinwiddie, I don't see that working. You were better off, as I've told people before. They don't necessarily believe me when I say this. Everybody thinks I'm crazy for saying this. You're better off going to go get somebody like a Carl Anthony Towns, or like a Colin Sexton, who's real young, vibrant at this stage of his career, and you could develop him and let him blossom and see what happens. He'll be in a franchise, and he's mentally tough. He'll be able to handle the uh, the media in terms of LA, and as well as the pressure. I have confidence in the guy. Carl Anthony Towns, that remains to be seen. But the reason why I mention that is because you need a skilled big man, and you need somebody that's going to be focused on playing defense, playing defense. What's up with it, Annie K? I see you in the building. You're going to need somebody that's going to be focused on playing defense and getting rebounds, and is a skilled big man. So listen, I think it's admirable that DeMar DeRozan wants to pay cut, and I think it's great that Spencer Dinwiddie and even Kyle Lowry want to play there. But where are they going to go with that? Because the Lakers are trying to win now. They're not trying to develop nobody. They're not trying to wait on nobody. They're not trying to carry on no dead weight, or any more injury prone players, or nobody that has really had any championship level experience. The only one that has championship level experience would be Kyle Lowry. And if you want to say Spencer Dinwiddie, that's from him being on the bench, in Brooklyn or whatnot. But he didn't actually play. Uh, so tell me what you think. Like this video, share it, subscribe. You said Spencer Dinwiddie going to the Lakers will be interesting. I wouldn't think DeRozan would join LeBron. Though. Well, Andy K, um, DeMar DeRozan spoke highly of LeBron. He actually he actually had a lot of good things to say about LeBron. It was in the on the JJ Reddick podcast. I want you to go listen to that, sweetie. He said, I think it was the JJ Reddick podcast, if I'm not mistaken. It was either that or uh, it was one with I think it was the JJ Reddick podcast. I'm not quite sure, but I'm maybe about 80%, 80 and 90% sure it was a JJ Reddick podcast. But he had a lot of great things to say about LeBron, and he respects the hell out of LeBron. Um, there's a lot of players that absolutely they're not too fond of LeBron, but there are a lot of players that wouldn't mind playing with LeBron and being on the same team as LeBron. So um, from a competitive standpoint, I think that he always wanted to beat LeBron, which he had numerous of chances to, but came up short when he was with the Raptors. But I think from in hindsight and looking at it from long term and what DeMar DeRozan wants to do and what he's trying to achieve, I think he's at the point now where he just wants to get rings. When he first came into the league, he was highly athletic. He was into you know dunking, dunking and high flyer and everything like that. But then he slowly started to develop, and he ended up taking that taking that mid range to a whole nother level. It's just like shout out to Antisocial. He had said that he said this. He said that DeMar DeRozan would be one player that could actually play in the '90s, and then they actually ended up taking Antisocial's quote, and somebody has said it. Somebody has said it on ESPN. I can't remember who exactly what it was, and like you said, a lot of people he got on anti about that. But if you really look at DeMar DeRozan's game, he would. I'm not saying he would be as successful as a Jordan or any of the top echelon players or whatever, but his game, because of the mid range and the style that he plays and everything, it would have fit in the '90s. Not to say that he was going to be, a 40-point scorer or anything like that, but that's the style that they kind of played. Even like a Chris Middleton, but Chris Middleton, hands down, is way better because he can play. He plays way better defense than DeRozan. But we'll see what happens. Um, I don't think that I don't think that the move is 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 too great of a move. Like I said, the Lakers' focus should be a good quality big man. Hold on one second, y'all. I apologize about that, y'all. Okay, so you said you said salute your channel, Papa. All right, well, we need offense and big man polo. Yeah, absolutely, I agree. Um, Go Mike. I've said numerous occasions that should be the focus right now. They don't need any older veterans. Every time they get older veterans, every time they get older veterans that are not like organic or it's not homegrown, they're not successful. The only time that they were successful when they did that is when they got Wilt Chamberlain. Um, they had McAdoo, but he was coming off the bench, but it was homegrown with Worthy, uh, Kareem to a certain extent. Kareem came a little bit later, and of course with Magic, that was all like homegrown. And then of course with Shaquille O'Neal, but he was still just about to enter into his prime and everything. So getting all these older veterans, on the team, going after Chris Paul and all these guys that really don't have that much time left. I'm not taking anything away from them guys or anything like that, but you want to remain. You want to be competitive, but you want to be reliable. You want those guys to be reliable. Yes, Chris Paul, like I said, he's real good, but you got to rely on him. Kyle Lowry, with the championship experience that he got, he's good, but he's getting older. He's getting older, even though he was somewhat productive in Toronto. And Go Mike actually did say that. He said that Kyle Lowry would be a great fit, for LA. I'll give him that to a degree. But DeRozan, uh, Spencer Dinwiddie coming off of ACL, still got to get back to in the groove of playing. It's not really a smart move. And plus, they need a big man. They need somebody that's going to back up AD. So you tell me what you think. Leave your comments. Uh, like this video, share, subscribe if you're not a member of the channel. Till then, it's Polo Sports Talking ENT. I'll holler at y'all.